Okay, so hiring stages, right? So this is round one, which is called as the HWO stage. Okay. So over here, and again, you can apply this framework for any interview that you're doing. It's pretty much the same thing that I follow, whether you're hiring AMs, whether you're hiring anything for your company. The first thing you need to do is you need to know their experience. What have they done, and do they have what it takes to actually fulfill the responsibilities that you might have? So you want to look, do they have previous experience? Do they have experience being able to close in the past? What were their stats? How many calls did you do? How many did you close? Were you in KPI? And one of my favorite questions is, how many people were there in the team? Like if you had 5-10 people, what was your position amongst them? How did you rank yourself? So yeah, what were you hired to do at the job? How were your success measured, right? So KPI stuff you want to know, get like a mental image, get to understand their KPIs, etc. If you can see that they did not meet a lot of their KPIs and they were not the best performer at the previous role, why would you move forward? The second one is accomplishments, right? So what were the accomplishments that they are proud of at job number one? What were they selling before? How was that priced at? Blah, blah, blah. Basically over here, yeah, I've written notes. A players tend to talk about outcomes linked to expectations. Be wary of people who talk about general events, people and aspects without getting into results. Look for correlation to the scorecard. So this basically means, and this is a tip for anyone who applies for interviews, talk about the outcome, not कि बॉस बड़े अच्छे थे, दिन अच्छा था. So like I don't want to know that. I want to know like what did you do? What's your biggest accomplishment? What have you were you able to make your previous company proud, right? Then I want to know about the low points too. What went wrong? What were the mistakes, right? What everyone who knows me, I hate politics, drama, and I'm very straight to the point. So anybody who's like going into stories, politics, and like that happened, this happened, I just like can't even move forward with the interview. So there's that. And then ex-boss. So who did you work with at the last job? Now, if the sales rep without any reason is like just blaming their ex-boss or like, oh, they didn't have enough leads, right? Avoid people who just do that, because like, unless like, of course, their boss was like a real joke. If they're just like on and on and on, just going about stories about the ex-boss, just don't even bother. And then why did they leave? Very good, right? So I'm giving you examples over here. So like a good example would be, my old boss recruited me to do a bigger job. CEO asked me to take double promotion and that was not like doable for me. Or I had to move away from my family requirements because my mother was not well. Okay, I understand. Bad would be, it's time to leave, my boss and I are not getting along, Judy got promoted and my role shrank, I slapped someone.
Like a whiner, somebody who's not taking responsibility. And
but so now this is just like I did this for the first job and now I just repeat that for till the time I'm satisfied. Like first 2-3 jobs I'll do that. If I could find like a red flag in the first job itself, then the interview is over. If not, I'll try to find a red flag in the second one, third one, right? And if I don't find any, then great, you qualified, move to second round. Plus at the end, I'm also setting some expectations. Like they'll ask me usually questions, hey, do you have any questions for me? And like what kind of role it is, they'll have basic questions. So, this question about do I want to work on commission and whatnot, yahin pe end ho jana chahiye. Like it should not go beyond this point, right? And then if you like this, what you do is you move them on to the next interview, which is the second round. This is what I do, or did, sorry, one-on-one when I had time, okay? Now what I do is I tell the HR, okay, 4-5 people, you just get them on a webinar, right? I'll first give them a little bit intro, and usually they have seen my VSL, right? And on the group interview, what I'll be like, okay, I literally say to everyone, like, I'm gonna ask you some straightforward questions. If I tell you to stop, just stop. Don't like go in a rant and be very, like to the point, direct, just out of respect of everybody's time. And I just like go to one person and I just like ask them the question, right?
And done.
Because one is not enough for me to like gauge. Right now I was able to understand their experience level and were they able to meet the KPIs. Now I want to see them in action, which brings me to the second round. What I do is, and you can copy this, like you can start giving them this script itself if you want. This is a discovery call script that we teach in school. And what I'm doing is I just tell them, here's the link to the video, here's the document, go study it, and on the next call we'll be doing a mock call. So there's that. And then I give them the script. Oh shit, wrong doc. But yeah, so I give them the script, and then basically now I expect them to show up well prepared for the thing, right? And this is where I'm like, remember when I was saying about the attributes, like I don't care about their sales skills over here. I'm more like, are they open towards my feedback? How are they following it? Did they prepare, or they just showed up? Are they following the script? And most importantly, how are they communicating? Cool. Then comes the final round, which is what I call as the culture round. So,
You got two or you got one?
we good?
Yeah.
So what over here I'm trying to find out is like, can they like be in my organization for the long term, right? Not just like their ability to sell, but what they did in the past, but what they will do in the future, right? So this includes things like their problem solving skills, right? So I just like ask them, think about 3 moments in your life from childhood till now. What were they and how did you get past them? Now I don't care about what those moments were, but what I know is like within the short time frame, how can they come up with the ability to come up with those 3 circumstances, compartmentalize them, put them into like a brief summary and like present it, right? It's like very difficult for people to organize those thoughts, and also how deeply they reflected upon the same, which is very important. So yeah, their loyalty. Okay, this is a little extreme. I took this from Airbnb's founder. Would you take this job if this was the last job you could ever pick?
Has anybody ever said no?
Yeah. And then the Nanath question was, I would just like ask them, hey, if I were to call your ex-boss, right, is there anything you want to share with me before I call them? Like anything messed up you did? I won't say necessarily like anything messed up you did, but like anything you want to share with me before I contact your ex-boss. And I would also take their names, by the way. And if they don't give me the names, I tell the HR to find from LinkedIn. So yeah, I mean, see, I'm telling you there's no 100% foolproof way, but these are measurements you can all take to get to the most qualified people by adding a lot of filtration processes.